Hey Mike, thanks for taking the time to chat with Metal Money today. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It's my pleasure to be talking to you guys, man.
Amazing, man. Now, Adrenaline Mob seems to be going strong right now with Omerta and Coverta under your belts.
Yeah.
So, how has the fan response been to the latter albums till now?
Being to the first two albums, you're
Uh huh.
saying?
Yeah.
I think the fan reception was great.
Mm-hmm.
We came out strong with Omerta. We supported it a pretty good amount, as much as we could,
Mm-hmm.
because we with time restraints, from with the members in the band and stuff, we couldn't get out there and tour like crazy with it. But we went out, and the reception live was unbelievable. The band is really a live band. We really have a great time on stage, and
Absolutely.
we take it to the next few steps
Next
live.
level, right?
Definitely. So it's been great. We went out and supported Coverta, on a small 1 month run tour through the states, and
Mm-hmm.
that was really great. I think fans really enjoyed us doing the covers, and we had a great time doing them for sure. Paying homage to all of our the greats.
Right, that's really awesome. Now, Adrenaline Mob is unlike projects that you have done in the past. It must have been a bigger challenge in getting the fans to accept something that is so different from anything you have done in the past.
Yeah, well, for each member, without a doubt,
Hmm.
across the board, I'd say because Russell Allen being from Symphony X and our former drummer Mike Portnoy being with Dream Theater and
Right.
all this, the insane stuff that he does.
Hmm.
Coming from an instrumental world, yeah, it's definitely you would never think that we'd all come together and do a hard rock band.
Right. That's true. So it's like four different varieties. They come together, they make something, and that just blows away, and everybody goes crazy over it.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I had been writing with Russell Allen for a few years, even
Hmm.
before the mob, but on something completely different. And
Right.
you know, I always thought he would sound great in a hard rock band.
Hmm.
So I had this band going prior for a few years, and then it just kind of dissolved with the singer, and I brought it to Russ, and it was like, hey man, you would sound incredible doing hard rock, and
Hmm.
obviously the man can sing anything plus.
Absolutely.
So
Right.
the minute he laid down the vocals, for what became Adrenaline Mob, it was just like, oh, here it is, boom.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really awesome. Now, since we're talking about the different backgrounds, now it's a fact that four of you came from such a different background to form the Mob's big and loud hard rock heavy metal sound is really an understatement. Now, how did you all define this style, for yourself when you guys started out?
Well, the band derived from myself and Russell Allen.
Right.
That was the writing team. I had been working on the sound that I envisioned, what finally blossomed into Adrenaline Mob
Mm-hmm.
for years, for a few years, and finally met, the perfect partner in crime, Russell, and we took everything that I had
Uh-huh.
and honed it into what became Adrenaline Mob. So it really that's where it came from. I had been working on it for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When I finally got with Russell, it really became its own thing. It became Adrenaline Mob once we got together. The album was written and recorded before anybody else joined the band.
Uh-huh.
So the sound is myself and Russ.
Right.
That's where it comes from.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, let's talk about some of your playing on the record. Now, Undotted features an amazing solo, and it kind of clearly indicates that you don't want to go balls out shredding all the time. It's filled with drama and real themes.
Yeah, yeah, that's one thing. Even with my Sonic Stomp instrumental band,
Hmm.
being from an instrumental background, I never wanted to be that, just constant shredding. I love it. It has its place, but there's nothing like a song and melody and just, having fun with the instrument. It doesn't always have to mean shredding.
Right.
I I'm conscious of that in a lot of my solos, especially Undaunted, where it's got that one section where it's like it goes into hyperspeed, and then that's it. It's like I kind of tip my hat to that style once in a while, and but I more tend to try and do different sounding things in my solos, or different kind of playing. I try to mix it up.
That's great.
Yeah, my style is an amalgamation of everything I've taken in the last 20 or so years.
Wow, that's fantastic. Now, while you guys were working on the album, of course, it reminds us of a lot of great heavy metal hard rock bands in the past. So, were there any major influences that that have come during the writing process?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about for Omerta.
Right.
Sure. Everything from what I grew up on. I'm a hard rock guy, true and true. I grew up on Van Halen, Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne, Iron Maiden, just across the board, all the greats. So I gather inspiration from so many different things.
Right.
I don't, disregard any music. I can be inspired by smooth jazz or Sade, or anything sparks my interest to write something. So there's so many. It's just too many to list.
I can really understand that. Now, since we're talking about the bands that kind of influenced, so how did you guys go about selecting which rock greats to pay tribute to in Coverta?
Coverta, we definitely started off with tracks that we had been doing. We had been doing High Wire in the set from day one. That's something that me and Russell had been playing together even prior from Adrenaline Mob. So It was a no-brainer. And Russell does the most amazing Ray Gillen I think I've ever heard. And one of my favorite all-time players is Jake E. Lee. So right there, that was a no-brainer. We had been doing Stand Up and Shout. Russ is a huge Dio fan, as we all are. I mean,
absolutely,
probably one of the greatest singers of all time in rock.
Right.
So Stand Up and Shout was easy. We had done Kill the King as well in before Adrenaline Mob, me and Russ. So these were really no-brainers. Then we picked some of our own. Mike Portnoy came up with Romeo's Delight, which was an awesome pick. Mob Rules, obviously, we've been doing since day one.
Right.
It's got the whole tongue-in-cheek thing, Adrenaline Mob Rules, and
absolutely
Black Sabbath with Dio. You can't get better than that.
Right.
Russ picked Led Zeppelin. He's a huge
Zeppelin fan.
Yeah, as we all are. I mean,
right.
What a blast doing Jimmy Page and paying homage to that.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it was like everyone kind of threw in. I threw in the Doors because I'm a huge Doors fan and I'm a huge Jim Morrison fan. So I threw in Break On Through to the Other Side, and we did a rockin' version of that.
Right.
Yeah, everyone just threw their
So it was more like, since you guys you were looking for variation, since you'd already covered Sabbath and Duran in the past.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, is there a lot of Dio? Yeah, but that's how great Dio is.
Right, that's fantastic. Now, while Mike Portnoy was on board, I'm sure you all started to see the music in a bigger way. Every time, I gotta be honest with you, every time I listen to Hit the Wall, my gray matter visualizes that insane Mike Portnoy meets Keith Moon. So is it safe to say that having Mike, aboard ups your game?
Yeah, it was great having, what we did with Mike when he was in the band was phenomenal. Mike is one of the best drummers on the planet. What more can you say? It was a pleasure, having him in the band, for those two albums and stuff. And yeah, I mean, we could pull off any style, anything we want, Hit the Wall is definitely, Keith Moon's one of my favorite drummers, so that whole thing, when we were crafting Hit the Wall, was that in mind. It was like, okay, bombastic drum part.
Right.
Insert here,
Right.
Yeah, so, of course, it's been it was great, and live, we had a ball with Mike, and we plan on the future taking it up even a step even further with the new
Right,
line.
right. I completely understand that. I was actually watching the live video for Undaunted, a few days back, and you guys have incredible chemistry and energy together.
Yeah, that's a real factor in this band. Across the board, when you see the front line, even myself and Russell and John,
Hmm.
uh, and Mike, when Mike was with us in the back was insane. It was. Everyone says to me, "Oh, you're smiling the whole time, while you're playing." Well, who wouldn't be? You
Uh-huh.
know,
Right.
we have a great time. It's nothing is forced, nothing is contrived.
Hmm.
We we play off each other, we feed off each other live, and when we hit the stage, every night I'll look at Russ and I'll be like, all right, it's on, brother. Here we go. And we literally just have a ball up there.
Oh, that's really amazing. Now, how do you look back on, Mike's departure from the mob's rank and his reasons for doing so?
Yeah. I just, I think it was possibly an inevitable thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, he has so many projects and always has, and so many, avenues that he wants to go down.
Right.
And with Adrenaline Mob, we have one clear road
Hmm.
that we want to do, and we're not taking the side street anywhere. We're traveling down this the Adrenaline Mob highway, so to say, and trying to stay focused and push this one thing. It's tough when someone else has so many other projects
Right.
and so many other aspirations and wants and things, and it wasn't working out.
Uh-huh.
It was we just didn't want to sit around and wait for something to be to be developed and to be had, which was his all of his projects really.
Right. Right.
Which are all great in their aspect,
Mhm.
but for Adrenaline Mob Camp, we needed to be able to put this new album out, get
Uh-huh.
right to writing it. As soon as I came home from South America and the Hailstone tour, I locked myself in the studio for 3 weeks and wrote 13 to 20 songs. And,
Wow.
yeah, it was intense, and we wouldn't have been able to do that with Mike on the board because he had his next project coming out, which is Winery Dogs.
Winery Dogs, right.
Exactly, and which is a great band. I mean, Billy Sheehan's one of my all-time favorite bass players. Period.
Right.
And so it was just tough. We had to stay focused, and we had to keep trucking, and that's exactly what we did. Nothing's going to stop Adrenaline Mob. We just, me and Russ are very, very passionate about this band and this lineup. So
That's
it was
amazing.
unfortunate,
That's really amazing. Now let's make it official, okay? I know you guys have been secretive about this, but which lucky drummer's fist are we seeing in the recent photo?
I don't know. I don't know if I could say that yet right now, because I don't know when this is coming out.
Uh-huh.
That's a problem. I'm not sure if I could say yet because we have a big press release coming out
Uh-huh.
next week, actually.
Oh, next week. So we're gonna be, the new drummer's gonna be out by next week.
You can if this doesn't come out by next week, you can add it in from the press release, no problem. We got an amazing drummer. I mean, he's absolutely phenomenal. There's nothing the guy can't do. His feel and his groove is just insane. It's really we wanted a rock drummer,
Uh-huh.
and we got one unbelievable badass rock drummer.
Wow. Now that's really gonna be amazing to see. How unique the drummer on board hits the nail with the next album.
Yeah, the album, again, we're going to be, we'll be, I believe, streaming one song a week starting
Oh.
next week. Yeah,
Oh, wonderful. So the album is written, mixed, mastered, everything is done.
the album is completely done and
Because
finished.
as far as I'm aware that the album is going to release in February.
It is, but the campaign starts next week.
Oh, that's amazing. Now, will its musical direction be different from Omerta?
No, not at all. Being that the again, the album was written and completed by myself and Russell Allen. So
Right.
that is the team, and the sound has not changed at all. As a matter of fact, it's grown to another level. The songs are again slamming, grooving songs.
Mm-hmm.
Some really beautiful ballads, some great acoustic stuff.
Wow.
Um, you got your hit you in the face type songs where you
Oh,
just
wow.
where you're just on the floor, and I think it's got something for everyone. That's a big thing for me. I like to write a lot of different rock styles. I like anyone to be able to put the album on and enjoy it. Whether you're a fan of, who knows, heavy stuff from Slipknot and you like aggressive stuff, or if you're a fan of Nickelback,
Right.
you're a fan
It's
of
got everything.
it's got something of everything. It's got the some great playing, great
Right.
groove. If you're digging the Foo Fighters or any genre,
Oh.
we don't want to be segregated. So
Right.
we wrote a very diverse album, something for everyone.
That's really amazing. Now, having branched out to Adrenaline Mob, from the very different music of your original bands, do you feel that multiple bands or projects like these, instead of focusing on just one band, keeps the musician's skill and perspectives fresh?
Doing multiple things. I don't agree so much with that. I feel that when you're doing a lot of things, it's hard to really grow one thing, to its full potential.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of tough. Yes, there are many musicians that do so many different projects, and it's great. It's great for the fans of that musician.
Right.
But when you're trying to grow one brand and one thing, I think it's better to focus and get that thing at its fullest potential and let it grow to its fullest height. It's tough when you're going from project to project. I'm more a band guy,
Right.
Not so much a project guy.
Okay, that's really amazing. Now you got to tell me this: when are you guys bringing the Mob's loud hard rock heavy metal sound to India?
Oh, we would love to. The whole idea about the Adrenaline Mob in 2014 is we want to go everywhere possible.
Wow.
We want to hit the road and not stop, and we're going to hit that wall and break right through it. There will be no wall holding us, back this time as far as
Right.
schedules and stuff like that. We are out there and we plan to hit every place we can. So you guys get a campaign going out there in India. Like, we want the Mob in India.
Right, absolutely. Now, we have not witnessed, Russell Allen, the symphony acts here. We haven't witnessed you. We haven't witnessed, Mike with Dream Theater or other projects.
Sure.
Now, after, I would say a long time, Mike is coming to India in December for a gig with Neil Morse. So there are fans here who really want to see Mob, setting the stage on fire.
Yeah. Well, we want to come there. So, start it going. Get that page going. The Mob in India, and if we can get out there, we definitely will. We want to play every place we possibly can this upcoming touring cycle.
That's really great. Now, Mike, thanks again for talking to us, and we wish you the best of luck with your future endeavors.
Awesome.
And
Thank you.
you can bet that we'll be lying in wait for the Mob to strike back next year with the new album.
I hope you enjoy it. We had a blast making it.
Uh-huh.
I had an incredible time, engineering and mixing and mastering it myself.
Right.
We kept everything in the family this time, and I really hope you enjoy it. So thank you very much for the kind words, and we can't wait to get there.
It's been a pleasure talking to you.
My pleasure as well, my friend.